Alright, last deck gonna be the Zoo deck against the Tempo Mage deck. This is gonna be interesting enough, but I guess like in some circumstances Tempo Mage is really good against Zoo, but due to the nature of the Tempo Mage deck itself, of how slow it actually is, well, like this build of it with the Cabala's Tomb, and also it can hinder your winnings against this deck just because just how vast the Zoo actually develops this board and consistently each and every turn. Like they're probably gonna be able to play a minion each and every turn. Like the thing that you really have to bet on if the Zoo hand is pretty poor, like they can't really play a minion each and every turn that requires to tap. That allows you a little leeway of developing your own kind of board. Ooh, picking up the Cult Sorcerer. That's actually pretty good. I'm wondering if you just play the Sorcerer's Apprentice and just Arcane Blast, or even just play Mirror Images too, just to buy yourself a couple of turns. Ooh, I like this. I like playing the Sorcerer's Apprentice and just Mirror Images. It does delay your opponent to actually move this Sorcerer's Apprentice, and now you can actually play the Cultist Sorcerer and allow a little bit more arcane missiles, like additional arcane missiles to remove your opponent's board. And a Blood Mage download is also being picked up. I think. Ooh, okay, decides to play the Blood Mage Thanos instead. I may have liked the the Cold Source a little bit more, but I guess it's okay, just because of the Arcane Missile kind of roll. But then if your Arcane Missiles did go bad, the Cold Sorcerer would be a little better because it can contest a lot of the things on board. S00 believes the Blood Mage Thanos is a threat. I would also think so as well. Just because of what the potential you can do with spell damage with the Arcane Blast, even with a simple Frostbolt. Like those might be enough damage to actually remove something, especially when you have Red Cold Sorcerer too. You can also combo a lot with double spell damage and easily remove the Countsman right off the bat. We're probably gonna see a Cold Sorcerer here. Probably moving the 4/4 instead of a 2/2 and just ping off the Countsman just so you can follow up with another ping to the next turn. We do see a Flame Strike though, but oh, I forgot to mention, there's a Bloodlust in S00's hand from the Spellslinger. That is disgusting. Just because of how good the Zoo actually develops the board, like how well it actually spells with each and every Flame Strike though. So that Flame Strike's gonna do a lot of work this game. It all depends on turn 6, on this turn, what he actually pings off. He probably pings off the Possessed Villager. Ooh, and also using the Fireball on the Imp Gank boss. So this guarantees Roger to have a very, very clean Flame Strike no matter what like played around it, but this is not the case anymore, and I feel S00 is going to use everything in his hand, and this Flame Strike is going to cleanly clear S00's board. So even the Flame Strike, even the Bloodlust itself is useless. It's probably going to be a dead card for a lot of turns, unless Forbidden Ritual is actually drawn on the next card of S00. But unfortunately, we do see a Soulfire. Let's see if it taps again. And a Forbidden Ritual is picked up. So there's going to be potentially a lot of damage if Roger can't actually clear this board. We do see that double Arcane Intellect, so you can definitely draw an answer there. Another Arcane Missile would definitely be really, really good. Oh, we do see a Mana Worm. We do see a Sorcerer's Apprentice. So I believe Bloodlust increases attack by 3, so there's actually 4. So 4 times 4, that's about 16 points of damage. Yeah, so even with the Soulfire, I believe that's only 20 points of damage. So you only requires 2 damage left for lethal. And what's unfortunate is that Rogers isn't on turn 10 yet, where he can actually play Joust around to potentially save his life. So this is looking pretty grim for Rogers at the moment. He can use Mirror Images to stop the bleeding, and then use most of his cheat spells to clear the 1/1s off, including the Hero Power Ping. I definitely like that. There's lots of possibilities. I like leaving at least 2 tentacles up just so that can actually, just in case your opponent can actually manipulate those 1/1s into clearing the 2 taunts and potentially go to face for 2 with something like a charge effect. That's definitely something you don't want, but yeah, I can see Rogers living this turn. So luckily enough, he does live another turn to actually play Yoxeron I like to see Yogs around next turn, and it's gonna be pretty big as well. Alright, let's go. Let's go with the Yogs around, but decides to play the Ethereal Conjurer. Oh, Ice Block, that's good. That's a very, very good pickup. Especially in this kind of condition right now as well. It also feels the Yoxaron as well. He's allowed to clear kind of some of the board. I would actually trade out. I would possibly trade out the most like highly attack kind of minions, like the 2 attack kind of minions. Okay, so he actually decides to do the use the efficient kind of tradings instead. That's actually quite interesting to me. But then you do have Ice Block, so there's no matter what your opponent will Fireball, Frostbolt, and maybe potentially Ice Lance too. So there's like a apprentice, and you don't really need to use your minions to actually deal with it later on. And we also see another Dark Paladin too. I like, ooh, Corruption is not bad, but I like Blood Imp a little better. Yeah, that's definitely true. Just because if you use Corruption, it allows your opponent another turn to deal to the face, and that's not really what you want to see. Yeah, going face with at least with one of the minions to pop the block, and probably using 2-1 to answer with the Mana Worm and the Elven Archer onto the 3-1. Unfortunately, a 6-3 is on the board. That does represent a reasonable amount of damage, but we're possibly gonna see Yogs around here. I can't see anything else he would play. There is Arcade Missiles though, but I feel this board is big enough where you need to use Yoxaron since you have no other way to actually clear it. You are at 2 health though, so it might be a little bit vulnerable to use Yoxaron just because it can potentially just frost push your face and just die. Competitive Spirit, not bad. Eye for an Eye is not bad. Earthshock is coming down. Let's see what it goes to. Arcane Shot too. Oh man, if that went to the face, it would be a little bit sad. Oh man, and anything can happen. Actually spawning the Murlocs that s00 actually played. Ooh, this Yoxaron is pretty good. It's removing most of the board. Oh man, that's a good Yoxaron. I would definitely seal the game right there. It's just anything with charge effect. Ooh, Forbidden Ritual is actually kind of good too. Establish a big enough board that your opponent can't actually clear right away. But we're gonna see a Competitive Spirit coming down, and let's see if this is lethal. So they're actually 4, 6, 7, 8. 4, 6, 7, 7 plus 8, that's like 13. No, 15 I mean. So there's only 1 damage he actually needs to actually... Ooh. Alright, so there is lethal, so Yoxaron did give Roger lethal and survive against the Zoo's madness. So Yoxaron is confirmed to be a good card.